Hey everyone, Zia here and welcome back to the channel. I have some absolutely insane and important updates for you today, okay? Let's jump right into it. Hold up, something massive just dropped in the Indian financial world. You are not going to believe what SEBI just did to reshape our markets. Get ready for a wild ride. For years, real estate investment trusts, or REITs, were kinda in a gray area for investors. But now, as you can see, SEBI just approved them as full-blown equity. This changes everything for real estate investors. But here's the wild part. SEBI isn't stopping there. They are broadening the definition of strategic investor and, look at this, opening up single window clearance for massive foreign funds. And the implications are just mind-blowing. And this isn't just about big players. SEBI is slashing minimum investment thresholds for accredited investors from 70 crore rupees to a mere 25 crore rupees. Look at that number on screen. This is a game changer for accessibility. These 10 massive reforms are set to revolutionize our capital markets, from IPOs to mutual funds. The goal is clear: attract more capital and boost investor protection. But is this brilliant, or is it a huge mistake? What do you think? In other news, a surprising development has just come to our attention. You guys, a quiet university campus, a speaking event, and then total chaos erupted. Charlie Kirk shot in broad daylight. How did this even happen? Who would do something so brazen in front of everyone? Authorities were scrambling, searching for answers, but then a crucial breakthrough. Tyler Robinson's own roommate handed over this. And we have the receipts. It's all on Discord. Look at the key phrases on screen right here. It details plans to conceal a rifle. But hold on, because it gets crazier. Because police later recovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a towel near the scene. And the bullets, you guys, check out the chilling inscription right on this bullet casing. "Hey, fascist, catch," with arrow symbols. You honestly can't make this stuff up. Surveillance footage then locked him in. Look at this frame from the UVU cameras showing Robinson arriving in that Dodge Challenger, wearing clothes consistent with his description. And it turns out he'd been talking negatively about Kirk for weeks leading up to the attack, growing increasingly hostile to conservative figures. His own acquaintance identified him, as this text overlay confirms. President Trump himself called this a political assassination, confirming the arrest during a Fox News interview. This targeted attack sent shockwaves across the nation, igniting massive debates about political violence. So, you guys, in a deeply divided world, is this the new battleground for our disagreements? Alright, moving on to our next story. Okay, squad, you are not going to believe what just dropped. Oyo announced their first ever full year profit. Sounds incredible, right? But is this the full picture, or are we missing something? Get this, it's absolutely mind-blowing. Their annual report reveals that this profit was largely propped up by a massive 767.5 crore in deferred tax credits. Look at this detail. It's right there in black and white. But here's the shocking twist. When you strip away those one-offs and tax credits, the company actually posted a pre-tax loss of almost 490 crore. And the evidence is undeniable. Their net debt shot up to 10,569 crore from just 4,082 crore last year. That's a huge leap. So what's the real story here? While their India business showed muted 4% growth, look at this. Oyo pushed hard overseas, acquiring G6 Hospitality for over $500 million and massively expanding vacation homes in Europe. They're shifting to budget-friendly models, but analysts are waving red flags about this strategy. This is Oyo's third attempt at an IPO, rebranded as Prism Life, chasing a $7-8 billion valuation. But with muted India growth and that massive debt load, is this brilliant, or is it a huge mistake? The public reaction has been fierce. What's the real endgame here? Okay, from the world of politics to the world of entertainment. Zohh crew, what if I told you that industrial disasters leading to tragic loss have gone unchecked for years? We are talking about massive explosions, devastation, and a system that just was not working. But now, everything is about to change. Are we finally getting justice? The government just dropped a bombshell, Zohh crew. Look at this. New Boiler Accident Inquiry Rules 2025. They are overhauling everything. This is not just a tweak, it is a complete game changer, especially for major sectors. And get this, Zohh crew, remember that devastating Thaindam-Bivli explosion? 10 dead, over 60 injured. In the past, investigations just dragged on. But here's the shocking twist. Now, if there is a fatality, a central inquiry is mandatory, with strict deadlines. They have mandated inquiries be completed within 45 days, and no boiler restarts until cleared. And we have the receipts. It is all about providing quick relief to victims' families, something that was severely lacking. This affects everything from power plants to textile factories. Experts are hailing it as a crucial step for safety and justice, but some in the industry are worried about operational delays. Can the government truly balance speed and thoroughness? Zohh crew, what do you think? Is this the fix we desperately needed, or will it create new problems? And now for something on a lighter note. Zohh News, you are not going to believe this market bombshell. The Nifty 50 just smashed past 25,100, its longest winning streak in a year. But here's the big question. What is truly fueling this insane surge? Okay, Zohh News, this isn't just a random jump, it is an 8-day winning streak, the best since last September. And look at this on-screen text. Nifty 50, 25,100, 8-day win streak. What's driving this? GST reforms, India's growth outlook, and trade deal hopes. And this is where it gets interesting. The market is now officially betting that the worst is behind us. For 5 quarters, earnings were weak, but look at the screen. It screams earnings revival ahead, December quarter. Experts are predicting a massive turnaround starting in December, but wait, there's more. But here's the wild part. We're talking US-India trade deals nearing completion by November, and even an EU free trade agreement by year-end. The evidence is undeniable. As you can see from this text overlay, global trade deals imminent, US-India, EU FTA. High-level talks are happening right now, setting the stage for massive global market shifts. Analysts are split. Some say sell on rise, others are bullish, eyeing record highs by early 2026. But it all hinges on these trade talks and consumer spending. So, Zohh News, is this a genuine economic boom, or are we witnessing the calm before a potential storm? Okay, up next, you guys are not going to believe this. 50% tariffs. A shattered alliance? Trump admits he caused a rift with India over Russian oil. What is the real deal behind this diplomatic earthquake? Okay, it is an insane discovery. Trump just announced a massive 50% tariff on India for buying Russian oil, claiming it was a necessary message. And look, when you see this on the screen, it says India's huge oil tariff. 50%? That is not just a warning shot, that is a direct hit. But here's the wild part. India, Russia's biggest customer, is not having it. They have called these tariffs unjustified and unreasonable, pushing back hard. And when you look at the text on screen, TARFFS, unjustified, you can feel the public sentiment. But here is where it gets crazier. Trump, in the same interview, casually claimed he solved 7 wars, including those between Pakistan and India. Can you even believe it? And this is where it gets interesting. Even with these huge tariffs, the U.S. ambassador-designate, Sergio Gore, is saying Trump has a deep friendship with Prime Minister Modi. Look at this text, deep friendship, trade deal NEAR? It is a total contradiction, with a trade deal apparently just weeks away. So what's the real story here? So is this a calculated power play, a strategic gambit, or just a really messy rift that somehow still leaves room for deep friendship? The stakes are massive for global trade and geopolitics. And just when you thought the day couldn't get any stranger. Zohh fam, you are not going to believe this. The stock market just went on an absolute tear, hitting levels we haven't seen in ages. What's behind this insane surge? Okay, Zohh fam, check out this proof. Nifty 50 just notched its 8th straight day of gains, closing above 25,100. And the Sensex, 5 days straight, breaking past 81,900. Look at the on-screen numbers right here, you heard that right. But here's the shocking twist. What's fueling this incredible rally? Experts are pointing to global market strength, potential U.S. Federal Reserve rate cuts, and incredible progress in U.S.-India trade talks. When you see this detail on screen, it's clear the stars are aligning. But not everyone is buying it. While domestic investors poured in over 4,000 crore, foreign institutional investors actually pulled out over 3,400 crore. And the proof is in the details. Brent crude oil also saw a slight bump. So what's the real story here? This market surge is unprecedented, Zohh fam. Analysts predict it'll continue, driven by government initiatives and global developments. Is this the new normal or just a temporary high? Drop your theories in the comments below. Now, for a look at what's happening in the world of finance. Okay, are you ready for this wild ride? Nepal is on the brink, public outrage is exploding, and get this. Some people are calling for the return of the monarchy. Could the impossible actually happen? We're talking widespread political instability, unemployment, and scandals pushing people to the absolute edge. And look at this on screen. Chaos, unemployment, scandals, protests. The public is rejecting their former heroes, and violent protests are erupting everywhere. But this isn't the first time Nepal has faced this kind of upheaval. Back in 1990, Indian politician Chandra Shekhar famously asked, "Who is this tiny king?" when addressing Nepali politicians. See that text on screen? Who is this tiny king? 1990. They were gearing up for a pro-democracy movement against King Birendra, pushing against a monarchy scrapped by his own father, King Mahendra, way back in 1961. But here's the wild part. The Nepali Congress and its allies actually forced King Birendra to bring back multi-party monarchical democracy. You heard that right. 1990. Monarchical democracy reintroduced. It's right there on screen. They fought for a monarchy, but with a democratic twist. Talk about a historical twist nobody saw coming. So now, with public outrage at a fever pitch and political chaos reigning, we're seeing calls to revive that very system they once fought to modify. What do you think happens next? Is Nepal heading back to its royal past, or is this just another twist in its incredible, ongoing story? Alright, that's all for today. Don't forget to hit that button. It really helps the channel out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next Zohh News.